to the consent agenda items.
I didn't get, I was talking to John.
I was just asking if anyone had any questions of you in regard to the consent agenda items, any of the financial matters, and I'm not hearing anything, so
Can I finish the statement?
go
I
ahead.
move to approve the consent agenda, including the payment of $506,165.45.
Support.
Okay, roll call please.
Davis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this is our first citizens from the floor, and so if anyone would like to come up and speak, we do have a timer for 3 minutes. Most everyone has heard me say this before. If you need to have a little more time to finish your thought, that's fine, but we do try to keep it to 3 minutes. So if anyone would like to speak, come on up.
Dennis Knight, 67 Highway. I'm coming tonight to address our commissioners again. One, to ask you to please rethink this NIA thing. I experienced today, as a citizen, usually I do post something for the citizens to see. I was busy today and relied on the city to have on the website that this meeting was happening tonight. That was my mistake. At 2 o'clock, I found out that it's not on the Imlay City website where it usually is when you open the page. And maybe because it's not a special meeting, whatever the legality, it was just in the calendar part. So I went caught, so I ended up driving up here. I thought, well, maybe they posted it on the building. So I drove up here and I seen the flyers on the building, took a picture, there's no posting there. So I continued into the office with the girls were great in the office at the counter, helped me out tremendously. And asked them if they could show me where this meeting's posted. You guys, the girls went to the website, and both the girls appeared to me, in my opinion, kind of like, oh, it's not on here, where is it? So they looked and found it in the calendar. So instantly, I'm sorry, but I have to go back to the transparency problem again. This is a very important night tonight, and I should have maybe looked a little earlier, but I put trust in that it would openly be posted to the public, and clearly it wasn't. It wasn't posted on the wall, it wasn't posted online, so here we are tonight without the citizens that have been at the last couple of meetings. They're probably, I'm guessing, maybe not sure this meeting's going on tonight. So now that that's out of the way, we're back to the transparency thing. I have to ask the board members, especially you new ones. I've sat in the crowd here and I've watched who has stood forward and did the speaking for NIA. I'm concerned. You're a couple of our newest board members that have done this work. Clearly the citizens don't want this. I need you guys to all understand as a board, the legacy you leave from this point forward on a 30-year commitment of something like this, I understand it can be broken. I understand the other way. The legacy you will leave is clearly, there's 2 options here. In my opinion, what are you going to value more? Chasing money or a relationship with the citizens that filled this room the last 2 meetings? What are you truly going to value more in this? Okay. I know you're probably going to stop me, but I do want to end with this because I'm not able to finish. We've had a board member ask, I think twice now, about 5 minutes. And I don't know if this is
Mr. Dwight, you're well past your 3 minutes, and you're
I'm
into
going to ask you to please address that
you're
too,
into
because
a
it
different
should.
topic now. So,
Okay.
thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Yes, Mayor. Jim Wolf, 5634 Tournament Lane. Former commander, retired from Warren PD after 24 years. It's my duty to inform you. You're being misled by Charles Rushton. He's a fraud and a liar. My intentions were never to embarrass him, I say, but it's my duty to inform you of what you have in your hands here. My apologies, Mr. Horton, I tried to get a hold of you, so this could be handled appropriately, but it is what it is. I'm guessing he never disclosed Internal Affairs Investigation 1753 and Internal Affairs Investigation 2201. In IA 1753, he was charged with and received a 2-day suspension for failing to take appropriate action and charged 2, disobeying a direct order from a supervisor. In IA 22-01, he received a 3-day suspension. Charge 1 was violation of unlawful workplace discrimination and harassment, where he did not act properly once informed of a sexual harassment complaint from a civilian female employee. More egregiously, he admitted to and told the female victim not to speak about the incident anymore in the office. She ultimately quit due to the retaliation within the office. And charge 2, under IA 22-01, unsatisfactory conduct, failed to take appropriate action, etc., 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 all related to sexual harassment. He had both of these removed from his personal file. Once this happened, it was like a snowball effect. Other members of the department would come to him, and he would authorize to have their suspensions removed from the department. And from several command officers. It goes on and on and on. On top of all this, when he would do back in the day, when he most likely, that I remember, because I used to be in internal affairs at one point before I made captain, he would do background investigations like many others would do, and he would put in for 10 hours overtime fraudulently when the candidate would withdraw or was informed that he or she would not pass. Additionally, while he was the acting police commissioner and or deputy commissioner in Warren, he selected 2 command officers to put in overtime into his overtime account, which is operated by power time, to increase his FAC, his final average compensation. I reported all this information to the mayor's office in Warren, but it was ignored because I was told it would not look good right after they had just relieved the prior commissioner from his duties. While Rushton was appointed the acting police commissioner from March 5th through March 5th through December 2nd, 2024, there were over 30 Warren police car accidents under his watch. And the joke around the station was, what, the officers forgot how to drive? No, that's not what happened. What happened was, he was administering little to no discipline, so there was 0 repercussions by having Rushton as the acting police commissioner at the time. He was also involved in a cover-up. I could talk to you, the council, for like a good hour or more. This goes on and on and on. He's also involved in a cover-up right now that's going on with a Warren officer, Emmanuel Smith, who was investigated for a CSC complaint against a citizen. This goes on and on and on. You don't know what you have on your hands here. This is not what I believe. I was there my entire tenure as a decorated command officer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing no one else, at this point, we have Dr. Stu Cameron, who is our guest speaker.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time. I will not take long, and I'm going to turn this because Mr. Dennis is one of our bosses, and I don't think I should stand directly in front of him. So I'm here to talk to you just a little bit about some questions that I've had at the school district regarding the Neighborhood Improvement Authority. I have followed this to some degree and certainly watched the film of the capture of the last meeting because I had some questions coming about the potential effect of the implementation of an NIA here on the schools. And I think that there is some misinformation, not malicious, just probably unknown, that's out there. I want to clarify a few things for you in regards to this proposed NIA. Number one, my understanding is that this really is used to fund residential and economic growth in a municipality. That's of keen interest to the schools, especially if any designated funds that would be captured would be used to improve the infrastructure here in the city. In regards to the school, schools are held harmless, so I did have some individuals call and say this could impact the funding for the schools or the tax situation of the schools. That is not accurate, as it was asked to me. The schools, libraries, millages are exempt from any capture, so there wouldn't be any overt harm at all to the school district. In addition to that, it is of great interest of the school district to see additional growth here in Lake City, particularly with family housing, stable family houses in particular. As you know, I firmly believe, and I've dedicated the majority of my life to serving in the schools, and I believe that the schools are the heartbeat of any community. And I think at any given time during a day, you have the largest concentration of citizenry in a municipality at the school district. That goes to our almost 300 employees and also our almost 1,800 students. With that being said, the viability of the school district is dependent on how many students walk through our door. And a serious impediment that we are facing in schools is the lack of reasonable family homes. This is an aging community, and that's great because these are people with tradition and they understand the values of the community, and we would not want them to go anywhere, but we need housing to be available for young families to come in. The revenue that the school received is directly tied to enrollment, and this lack of housing has contributed to a decline in the school's enrollment. When I first got to the schools in the late 90s, our enrollment was about 2,200 students. Now it sits just under 1,800. And with our revenue attached to each student of just about $10,000 to operate, you can see that that kind of drop-off is very meaningful in terms of the livelihood of the school district, the type of programming we're able to offer, and the services that we're able to offer to children and families. Another concern that I have from questions that were asked to me at my office, but also that I heard in this room, were about the capacity of the schools. There was some question about if down the road our enrollment was to increase due to any sort of development that would be the result of NIA capture, that we would not have room for students. That is not accurate. Remember, we ran about 2,200 students prior to our recent proposal in which we added classrooms to the school district. So we're in a fine position to house hundreds of more students across K-12 in the school district without issue. The other thing that came up was some questions, and again, I don't think there was anything malicious about these. I think they were legitimate questions about the number of students that were running per classroom. And I think that there was some speculation about there being 28, 29 students per kindergarten class. We have a threshold in the school district, and our ideal number would be right around 22 students per classroom. At 25 students per class is when we get to the point where we add additional staffing, and we did do that this year to make sure that we have as low a ratio as possible for those adults that deal directly with the smallest learners, the most developing learners. And so we don't have 29 kids per class in a classroom. I think we sit right at about 23 on average, which isn't optimal, but it fits our budget and we're able to get everything that we need to do with the students done. So I don't know, and I don't want to open up for questions because this is your meeting and I'm sure it's procedural and this is a one-way discussion, but I did want to make you aware that it's not the position of the schools to be political in any manner. In fact, it's our job to be apolitical. We are a bastion of democracy here in the schools. And our job is to make sure that we take everybody with open arms and we serve them the very best that we can, and we make sure that We're doing our best to provide those children with everything they need to be successful in life, regardless of how they come to us, from where they come to us, what their situations are, what their demographics are. And I'm proud to say that I lead an organization where I have people that are dedicated to that. And that goes from our board members all the way down to folks that are cleaning classrooms. And so I don't weigh in on this issue from a political standpoint, but what I can tell you is any initiative that would help develop growth here in Imlay City, and particularly in the way of infrastructure, would be critical to the ongoing viability of a healthy school district. And I would like you to at least know that as you make important decisions about this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As the guest speaker, we actually do allow questions and answers. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Cameron?
Thank you, one of my concerns.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Okay, we actually, I know that Ed's here, but he's not actually here as the department head. And so we don't have a department head tonight, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so moving on to unfinished business, at this point, we'd like to talk about the community center. Bob, if you would go over to the podium, please.
And before I get started, I got something. Your music and your art things were great this year.
Oh, thank you.
Very
Thank you
good.
very much.
Enjoyed it.
We'll do it.
Okay, now I'll get to my job. Had to do that, so. Let's see, we had our Winterfest this last weekend. The Chris Kringle thing was in the building. We covered all bases when we decided to open up to the community. We put a CO2 detector in the building because we were running a diesel heater in that building, and it never went off. It went off today, we ain't even reusing it, but it went off today. We called CCA, and we got a temporary permit that cleared us to use that building. It was honored to use it, so we didn't have no problem there. The vendors loved it because they actually stayed warm. They were not happy with the beer, but they were happy with us, so that's a good sign. We had 16 vendors in there on Saturday. So, here's what's happening going on since that's my own. We started building the walls in the building today. Started getting it ready to prep to move forward with the walls. We marked out with Chuck and Craig, we marked out where all the electrical is going to go on the walls for plugs. We marked them all out, so they're all marked. Scott Houston is going to come in on, as electrician, he's going to come in on Saturday. He's going to wire in all the plugs. They're going to be on separate plugs all the way around the building. So they're not doubled up, so we have a lot of power in the building to cover all the plugs. So he's ordered the lights for the outside and the lights for the doors. He's going to put 3 on the north side of the building, 1 on each end, 1 in the middle to light up the parking lot. He's also going to put 1 on the east end and 1 on the west end at the peak. So the building will be lit up. The wiring is done for the cameras. There's going to be cameras, 4 cameras inside, 4 cameras out in each corner of the building. So the building will be watched really close. So we ordered more material for the building today, for the steel and stuff, so we can get that coming in, so we can keep moving on it. So the heating guy, okay, I had a discussion with him. He came yesterday, he came today. I think he's gonna call for an inspection, a rough inspection on Thursday. Yeah, he'll be ready for his rough. Now I got a letter from Chuck today, the consumer wants me to draw a drawing where I want the new meter put. So evidently they're going to trench a new line to the building. Because you might run into it in industrial park, if it's been in the ground more than 10 years, consumer will not use that line. This has been 15. So we're going to push for it to be on the east end of the building, south of the big door. Because that's where the main is at, going for the 2 furnaces. So that's kind of where we're at on the furnace stove. But we didn't need heat today, it was nice in there, so nice working temperature, so it was good. So, let's see, I got a hold of the plumber today. He's booked out a little bit, but he says could come up, see what we want done up there on that part, so we can get the plumbing started in the building, so. I'm trying to think of anything else that we got going, lots of stuff. I think that pretty well covers what we're doing there, so, but yeah. So we had a great time, and it was nice and warm in there. I think I figured it out, that we ran that kerosene heater, diesel, got from CNF Insulation. We went and picked it up on Wednesday morning. We started up Wednesday, we ran it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we went through roughly 20 gallons of diesel fuel in that days. And it kept the building at 65 degrees. Couldn't ask for anything nicer than that, so. And everything worked good, so that's all I have for right now.
Kudos to you. I was over there during the Pringle Market. As you said, the building was warm. It was very well lit. The vendors were very happy. Thank you to Ed for you guys, having your guys go over there and really, excuse me, do a nice job on the floor. Kudos to everybody because, you know, we certainly had our challenges with some utility companies. And yet you were able to have that building ready. So thank you to everybody. I thought it was absolutely great.
One thing, we will have true power in the building come Saturday. DTE has plugged it up to the meter, up to the transformers in the front. They attached it to the panel to the back, so they'll switch it all over to the main, and then we'll have to get a hold of DTE and have them see if we can get the poles pulled out and get rid of them, so. Okay, that's all I have. Anybody else got any questions? None? Good. Thank you, guys.
Great, thanks. Excuse me, moving on to 9B, the Neighborhood Improvement Authority. So this is officially the second reading ordinance 151-20, creating a Neighborhood Improvement Authority. We don't actually have to read the entire ordinance. So at this point, if I would entertain a motion if anybody wants to make a motion in regard to this ordinance, and then we can have discussion.
I move we move on the second reading of the ordinance 151-20.
Okay, so that's, is that okay, Caitlin?
We would want to adopt the ordinance, not
All
just
right,
second
we adopt the
reading.
ordinance 151-20.
Okay. Is there a second?
Support.
Okay. Discussion. Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Davis,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Ramirez,
No.
Stempien,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the second reading, ordinance 151-21 to adopt the development plan and tax increment financing plan for the neighborhood improvement district. So, is there a motion?
I guess I gotta make it. Motion, I'll read it over here.
Okay.
Ordinance 151-21 to adopt the plan for tax improvement.
Okay. Is that right? Okay. Is there support?
Support.
Discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Davis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Ramirez,
No.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
So those ordinances have passed. Okay. Moving on to new business, a resolution 2025-21 Rural Task Force all-season drought designation. This one's you, Matt, I understand.
Thank you, good evening. The city was awarded over $256,000 of grant funds supplied by MDOT via the Rural Surface Transportation Program and Transportation Economic Development Fund, category D, for fiscal year 2027 to rehabilitate Newark Road from M53 to Black's Corners Road. Through the program, To receive the Category D funding, the road segment must be classified as an all-seasons route. It was determined after we received the funding that the road was not classified on MDOT's list. An all-seasons route is typically built to handle truck traffic throughout the year. This route has long been the truck route to the Vlasic Pickle Plant, including Rex Corner Road. To receive this funding and future Category D funding, we need to adopt a resolution to classify it as an all-season route. Due to it already being an all-season route, it was built as such, I recommend approving the resolution.
Are there any questions for Ed? I would entertain a motion in regard to this resolution.
I'd make a motion to do a resolution for 2025-21 Rural Task Force All-Season Road designation for Newark Road.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Blount,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Ramirez, DeLuca,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, you can see on page 42 of your packet. This is the proposed 2026 scheduled meetings for all English City boards and commissions. Craig?
Again, it's the same, very similar calendar to the last 4 or 5 years.
I would like you to take note that we have indicated the elections on there and move the commission meetings for that week to the Thursday.
Oh, okay.
No action needed.
Both in August and November.
There's no action needed on this, is there? Just accept it.
We need to.
You need to adopt the you're setting your meeting schedules.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to accept the calendar as written for 2026 city calendar.
Support.
Let me do a roll call.
Okay.
Who was the support?
I did.
Ms. Tom,
Thank you. Blount,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next we have any other citizens from the floor, if anyone would like to speak. Seeing none, we do not need a closed session, is that correct? Okay. Commissioner time. Commissioner Ramirez. Commissioner Stempien.
Thank you for everybody showing up. Thank you for DPW for everything they've done, keeping all of our streets as clear as they possibly can. We've had some really crazy weather the past few weeks, definitely, and we're probably going to have an even crazier rest of the winter. So thank you for all of your hard work, especially you and your crew, and happy holidays, everybody.
Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, one thing, I spent the week, and I asked, our city manager to look up problems with this thing we just passed. And I searched every place that had this system going, and I looked for problems, and I couldn't find anybody that had regrets and had to change it to fix it. So, I was against it to begin with, as many of you know, and as I got into it, it's good for the city. It does not increase taxes any more than it would be normal because the state increases the taxes. Now, I know a lot of you are against this, and I have two solutions for you. One, get on the board, and two, we have an election coming in November. Get it on a ballot. Then the citizens can vote whether they want it or not. Because it's 30 years, but we can cancel it anytime we want. So if you folks vote to get rid of it, we will get rid of it. Because we work for you. But in our mind today, evidently most of us think it's a good thing for the city. Now, we may be wrong. I may be wrong. I'll accept that. But get on the board or get active to get rid of it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Commissioner Blount.
I want to thank everybody for coming, and Dr. Cameron, it's always been great having you in our community for all the years you've been here, so thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Commissioner DeLuca.
Again, thank you, everyone. everyone for coming here tonight. Certainly, always like hearing different perspectives, especially at the podium there. So again, thank you for that, and happy holidays.
Commissioner Davis?
Okay, I spoke enough at the front, didn't I? So anyways, thanks for coming, appreciate it. Again, the school did an awesome job, I have to say. Your last night was just really, really great. So, and, yeah, have a good Christmas, guys, and a New Year. Thank you.
Commissioner Davis tells me he has something else he wants to say.
Yeah, it bothers me that we're trying to do this, but I have found nothing wrong with it. And I found nobody had found anything wrong with it. We have complaints. Our city, I'm gonna fight the city if they try to use this to build houses individually. I want us to build our city. I wanna see our streets paved. I wanna see our roads fixed. Moore Street, what, we got $10 million to go to fix that? I have not, and I don't care. In front of my house, they haven't fixed my road in going on 40 years. And the reason they can't do it is it's gonna be as expensive as 4th Street to fix it because the plumbing underneath where I live is no good. This money is gonna be a big $54,000 next year so we can fix the whole city up. But the point is, I'm not gonna support anything that comes up that says we're gonna build more houses. We're gonna fix the city. And for merchants downtown, by the way, that found their sidewalks clean this snowfall, that was not done by the city. That was done by an individual. So you can thank them. That's all I have to say.
All right, kudos once again. I thought the Chamber of Commerce did a great job with the Winterfest. Obviously, we had extremely cold weather. I was in the parade, and I was so bundled up that I could barely walk. But it was great to see the people that came out. It was great to see the people in the Pringle Market. I think that this is all moving in the right direction. Kudos to both this board as well as the DDA for the work on that community center. As you can tell, we still have some things left to do, but it was wonderful being in there on Saturday. It was warm. It looked so different than it used to, and it's only going to be better as we go ahead and finish it. And as I heard from Chuck Bennett, who's the DDA director, as he talked to those vendors, they were all just ecstatic. Some of them said that it was the best sales that they'd had all year. They were certainly much happier being inside than they were the week before in the year where they were outside. I thought that it was very positive for our community. I will say this, applications, we've talked about that a couple different times. Those applications are going to be, I don't know, Dawn, are they ready yet?
No,
No.
this isn't passed.
No, they're not ready yet. We're anticipating to start working on them this week to add that paragraph describing what the qualifications are to add to the existing form. And then I don't know if we can do like an e-blast through the portal or whatnot to kind of advertise the updated form is. We do encourage people to list if they're interested in the NIA, but if they want to serve on other boards, that's something of interest. We do recommend that like a cover letter is going to be put with each of their applications. This will help us, I think, better understand who the candidates are rather than just checking the different boxes. And then the city commission should really think about when you're going through those applications, you can have those who are residents and then non-residents.
Yeah,
So I think-
non-residents, if you live in a township, and you don't like what we're doing, put your name in, you can be on the board.
And so I think it's important to think about that in January when you come back from the new year, what number for each, just so then people can understand when you're going through that selection process, if there's going to be 3 residents versus 3 people that are non-residents, just so then you can help them figure out which bucket to then fill those vacancies in.
Because we have some specific criteria from the state that we will have to use in regard to looking at applications. So it looks like in the next week or so, then we'll have the applications ready. There's applications right now that have been there for quite a while that had all the existing boards on them. I will tell you that Parks and Rec has been down a member for at least a couple months, and so they're looking for someone else. The ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals, which is a really good way to be able to get involved and understand what's going on. That board has been looking for an alternate for a while, but we have openings in those boards all the time. And so we're always looking for people to fill those boards. The other thing I will tell you is that, so with the new application, we'll be looking to receive those. I will tell you that this group is intending on reviewing all the applications for the NIA in our January 15th, I believe is the date, that Monday. I have that right? It's the second meeting in January.
Yep, that's the 15th.
15th. So that's when this board is going to be going through all those applications and deciding.
Sorry, when is it, the 20th?
20th.
It's the 20th.
It's the 20th on
Oh,
the
it's the
26th.
20th? Okay, sorry.
Per the new calendar.
Yeah, per the new calendar.
Sorry. Anyway, so January 20th is, which is our second meeting in January, we are going to go through all those applications and decide who we want to appoint. So, with that, happy holidays to everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all of your opinions. We appreciate everyone. Thanks.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
And you're up.
I would move we adjourn.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
See you next year.
I don't know, it's after the holidays, I think that makes sense.